call again, sir. I want to tell you, Gatti. Gatti!
Oi, we are looking for Teddy, man.
Me there, sir. Boy, me I tell you now. What I say? Where you say Gatti? Where you say gang?
I'm there, wait, man.
Why there? You know, we're going to go to our candle.
Before we go in, let me tell you so. Boy, I tell you, me have one story if you tell you now. Story about one thing what happened to me up at the school the other day. And Gatti, could remember that story, you know? Me and Gatti up in the woodwork shop. You remember the woodwork shop right there, so? Mr. Boaz never come yet. And boy, me I tell you, say, me and Gatti in there, I play. And me I run, man, boy, Gatti I run me down, you know. And me say, me I run him, man, almost catch me, and me jump up on the table them, you know, the woodwork table them.
One of the big table, yeah.
Big old table them, I run up on the table them, and me I run like hell from up at the top, I go down at the bottom. And same time when me look, no teacher Pete come my out and Gatti take off like a wind. Cause him the down at the bottom, he gone through the gate fast, and me I run through the gate, and teacher Pete call one boy and tell him to lock the gate, and he grab me. Boy, I tell you, that is the first time me get some good lick from teacher Pete, me I tell you, you know.
Man, you share up Greenbush for yourself, man.
One bush that we used to have when we used to work a man in time was a rub up and rubbing our hand a man in time too.
Yes, sir.
The belt, if we reach late and indeed the belt got break or something.
Yes. I take out to my pressure at the lick.
Yeah.
Boy, I never know that bush there. I never know that bush there. They never tell me.
Yes, man. We used to rub up with the bush. But alright. When we used to have homework, you know, we used to tie up broom weed in the antes and put one stone on the face and call the teacher name. Now we don't do homework, so we used to tie up the broom weed, put in our antes and call the teacher name so they forget about me. We have to do homework.
Yes, I saw that. The kids didn't give you homework.
Yes.
And whenever look for when I look for them, you know, sir. When I sweat on them, I meet, because we don't want to call for no homework.
Oh, man, I tell you.
But me did have one to store with them about Mr. Williams, man. Why? Mr. Williams could have put it on, man.
Yo, you know, something just I'm trying to remember if it was Peter and Mr. Williams, but no, remember when they made Peter gang.
Mr. Williams don't play, man.
Mr. Williams.
Yes, I tell you. You see, whenever time you get the match set up and you get one wrong, I want the key again. Two wrong, I two the key again. See? Well, I mean, I will try my best to make sure everything works well enough.
You know, remember we gang in one time and the gang up is a Pete in front of class in a great picture, you know.
Yeah, man.
What did happen, gang? You remember that story there?
No, sir, I don't remember that story there.
Yeah, man, he beat her in front of class.
But I don't know how I just say, but I know to make it a bit from Mr. Williams.
Yeah, man.
And him brown leather strap. But you know, to me mischievous still know. Some people could have do something bad.
Say something you know,
something I shouldn't say, or do something I shouldn't do.
Yeah.
But me also want to explore to tell you still know one time, because me have one after the virgin, when I go to school. And one time, they have one concert out of school there. And I go in there, well, they have me down to participate now one song where I sing like you that say, I am a Christian, I am a Christian, I am a Christian till I die. They know me have to chip in and say I am a naughty dread. And me have one bit of wig for my head, you know, sir. And me I sing, I am a naughty dread, I am a naughty dread, and I flash a lot, you know. I am a naughty dread till I die, and the wig jump off of my head. Very serious, pull up. What I know is that?
Jump off.
Me left jump off, so make it encore.
What?
Let me do it again. Please, pull up. That's a nice little moment, man.
Well,
I just feel like I started that day there. I guess my master place.
That 8th grade was a year.
8th grade, man, I tell you, say.
I can name out the teacher that I can remember. One named Miss Pierce from over Manchester. One named Miss Sicard. I don't remember if I can teach it to you know.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Because I remember more than anybody else.
And who again? Somebody else can teach it to man.
Teacher Pete teach the class. Remember said that was the time teacher Pete teach with the song of the banana man, you know. Tourist white man wiping his...
White man wiping his face met me in Golden Grove Marketplace. He looked at me old clothes brown with stain and soaked right through with the Portland rain. He cast up his eye and turned up his nose. He says, "You're a beggar man, I suppose. Boy, get some occupation. Be of some service to your nation. I said, by God and this big right hand, you must recognize a banana man. Up in the hills where the streams of Cool and Mullet and Janga swim in the pool, I have 10 acres of mountainside and a dainty-foot donkey that I ride. 4 Gros Michel and 4 Lacatan, some coconut trees and some hills of yam. And I pasture on that very same land 5 she-goat and a big black ram. That, by God and his big right hand, is the property of a banana man.
I said by God and my big right hand. You don't know a banana man. You know that with your bulldog. But if it's a Spencer banana.
It's a Spencer banana.
One of it.
One of it.
Yeah.
That's why they named the honest thief.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. The honest thief.
Honest thief, a bulldog promising
So
man, say boy.
What made him honest, President? Because what made him honest? Because he asked for us to go and steal it.
He asked him for it.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, tell him.
Yeah, him
Yes,
asked for it and the man said no and him tell him say alright, may I come thief it at a certain time.
What time? Whatever time.
Yeah, 12 midnight.
Yeah.
You may tell him that too?
Yeah, then that's why Mr. Spencer that's why Mr. Spencer sit down out there and wait upon him.
Yeah, I wait.
You didn't go and everything and in coffee and everything.
Yeah, one not even go that. Banana gone.
And he look up, I stay in a drip.
Man, more talk my wife.
But they marry the banana, they might have a house. We have to get house to say that the party.
Howard Mullins.
We have to get house to say that party. They marry the banana.
I real banana, my bro. It's so nice.
The boy Howard never easy at all, I tell you.
Oh, yeah, clown, man.
So man, that year there was a year after 8th grade and everything. You know, so we never come back to school, we don't know. When they go in a 9th grade, you know, so we don't carry no book come out. Because a couple of people, well, you know, a couple Gang, Dan, Winston, Karma.
Yeah, and this girl here, Hyacinth Williams.
I think Sarah and going to Albertone. Yeah, that was it. And then remember, we come back to school, we said, Gang gone, Dan them are gone. Come back to the book, but that's the years that were gone. And you have to come back to school.
Oh, you mean Pat Palmer? Oh God.
President, you know what I mean, man? Hey, guess what? You don't have to love people, you know. Because you know one thing, me tell you something, you love them people and you know one. You know one for years, so you don't love them like so you love them, you know, tell them something.
I'm not Dan, Bloom and Pat and Carol boys. Yeah, me see that too once. Alright, come back.
So maybe me ask you, who was your favorite teacher? Me did have some teacher there. Remember Sadie Reed. I tell you, say other lady they opened my eyes to learning. Actually, it's in fair class, me really realize, say, wait, me I learn something. And let me start applying myself. So she would be one of my favorite teachers too, among some others.
Me I want teacher named Miss Thatcher.
Yeah, she will call it, yeah.
I mean, she's a one part of my mind as you talk about teacher. She must have done something to impact my life.
That one Miss Barnaby.
Miss Barnaby live up on the school, is it?
She did live right at Amas Bartos' place right there, so. And that's where she did live.
Yeah.
Yes, and Miss Williams too. No. Yeah.
Virgin, Miss Williams should have been
my favorite.
Miss Williams should have been my favorite teacher because guess what? She used to make me feel so special.
Miss Williams was a nice lady, man. May I tell you, she was a beautiful woman. I tell you, I remember her.
Well, you got Miss Peter too, but Miss Peter was one of the coolest ones.
Yeah, man.
I have one story about Miss Peter. I don't even know. And we know that there was an ongoing feud between Miss Peter and another teacher. And one time me and Rotty down at Miss Peter, and Miss Peter tell we in the garden, look like she not do take care of some flowers or something. And she asked if we pack up some stone, a heap of stone. And we pack up the stone. We don't even really know what was the purpose of the stone until we see one particular teacher reach the gate and Miss Peter try stone her.
When you not do something, when you should have a new road.
I wrote to man, we always go check Rotty, you know. No, I never really know what was the outcome, but it was a bit suspicious still, you know, but we do it. So tell me now, remember when them always hand out some things like flour, cornmeal, oil and
Milk powder and calculate. When I eat milk powder from school, get a straight door.
And we are go outside and now we used to play cricket. Right, grandmother used to shake the ball. She used to live up and heat up, but I don't think used to come down, cut the ball, you go over there.
I like to think that, that apply in there.
Some teachers used to try to go as far as up on your arm and shape up at the right grandmother up the you remember?
Yes.
Hey, we used to use bone and slide off of head that people don't have
Yeah. Boy, and them something, especially if the grass wet. I tell you, Papa. You know talk about Jamaica go at the Olympics.
Oh, bobsled. Yeah.
Bobsled. A bobsled with the pan. Boy, resourceful, may I tell you.
Hey, you know what? This thing I usually spend some time because I'm making gigs, you know. You used to like plug man gig, man.
You used to get your red book, go over there and make one gig, man.
Hey, Virgin, you have to know fear yourself. If you have fear, you don't play that game. So when it's a man, the man get around the ring and I fling plug out there, you have to press it just back to you. Everybody straight in the person that walks in there.
Put down there, every man at time, everything to bust up your gig.
What is it? Tell you couldn't play it.
Me could have played gig, man, but here the thing now, what me always want to do. Me have some guy on my side named Simon, Marks, and them people. Them people they play the gig in the ear and catch in their hand.
Yeah, man, you used to do it, man. You could
do it, though.
I make it run.
Yeah, at that too, if you make the gig run and sing.
Yeah, man.
Why me I tell you, them pitney nowadays, they're not no fun. Me feel say our time was not only nicer, but was better in the sense. When we have walk to school and from school, a relationship we are forming, brother. We walk and talk to one another, you know. Laugh and play, you know, brother. And relationship we all know them relationship they're solid, same way like the first day when time we make them, you know.
Yeah, but tell you, you know what it means for me to know children boy I married my head and then make we walk around and stop around and say Eastern and by the long life milk.
You see it?
Then left me in the virgin. And guess what? It feel like yesterday. And it usually feel like boy, it was a serious farmer camaraderie, a serious farmer unity. Everything but it was just so good. Men kind of feel so good, you know, boy, we create some sort of relationship. And even with the far and wide, we still feel like we are together.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you made no much fun?
Some solid relationships, man.
I can imagine, man, after we go far and wide, we still get back together.
May I tell you?
What are you talking, man?
And this is what may I say. May I say the relationship them that we farm, the bonds that we farm at them level there, at primary school, was so solid because we spend time. You know, we played together. You know,
but then remember, you know, it's not like that there one class in a from grade 1 and come up.
All the way up. And you know the thing about it too, in them days, we never seem to be so selfish, you know, because I hear the story, you know. Because may I tell you, remember one time, you remember them did have one cane field right beside Mr. Garden shop when you go over Mr. Garden on the right hand side.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, one cane. It did over between my van shop and Mr. Garden shop. They have one cane field.
Yeah. So go
the sugar cane them type thing them. And we a group of women. You see, when time we go over Mr. Garden, if we buy like soda and we drink the soda, we always throw the buckle in the cane field at a particular place, you know. And then battle them save up. If somebody not have no lunch money, then just go back in the cane field, go take up number of buckle, sell and get their lunch money, no brother. Like a little saving what we have between ourselves. If a man run out of any little funds, a man just knows say go and go catch a couple of buckle and go and sell. Can you imagine that? Say two girl going at the toilet and one drop in, one not come out back. Can you sorry? Yeah, he was a tax collector.
Yeah, man.
He work with the tax office. So him say.
He used to work as Minister of Health, something like that.
He used to work as Minister of Health too? No, what him say, remember, the taxes, him hear what him say that day there, when he hear about this something. Him say, knock it down, I am a tax collector. That time win some up on the side there, but she have to go hear that one there, trust me, she have to go hear She dey on the side a ball and a big papa nothing do it. Boy, I tell you, there's so much to reflect on, but with the
boy.
experience at that school there, boy, I tell you, is
Rich man.
yeah, man, it's something that you're gonna have right until the day when you take your last breath.
But I love to really, like you said, we make a reunion and who can make it and things.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I love to see that one right time.
Yeah, my boy, I tell you, it's fun to reflect, and to share them memories and stuff.
One time we organize that thing, a fun with that, everybody just reunite and come in on at the time, trust me.
Definitely.
Much memory in that school, brother, to give it up right now.
True.
As much as the school are going, just know that them turn out some people like we still, the achievement,
It is, and it's not just personal achievement, because people contribute to society, people contribute to the community, people contribute to even society other than them own society. People there all over the world. We pass through the school.
Well, if all of us, if everybody were to come the reach out, if everybody were to reach out, make a minimal contribution to the institution, it's supposed to be well.
Definitely.
Well, that's the man, the most fun. Definitely, man. If everybody really, it won't take much, but believe me, the add up.
That's it.
Yeah,
we have a thing where we always say one cocoa full basket.
Full basket.
Yeah, me always going to tell yourself, just like how we pay bills on a month today, it would have been a nice thing if we could have contributed something on a month today. Not very much. Something in a field version. But to be honest, you need not to go that far, because if everybody contributes, like, call it for 1 year, who have this, you understand? Whatever they get, don't use it for a year. That's like, if I don't have that, I can give January, that's money I can give August, and that person can give November. You understand? I mean, like, that's great, yeah.
I tell you, man, there'll be a lot.
It's a good thing when we share a story among ourselves, but it is even better when we share it among the larger community, other people here, and it kind of remind people of some of them own experience, and maybe people would be more willing to share them experience. But better than that, the young ones, them who are at the school and now, if them hear through his story, it's supposed to encourage them and make them know, say, boy, then can look and say, look on a man like Gang, look how Gang turn out. I mean to say, me can turn out like that too, you understand?
And so, from the reflections of Garth Smith, Alopel Dixon, and Earl Simpson came the idea of the story of the Warsop Primary School. And now the story continues in this second episode with none other than Emmanuel Shields. Emmanuel!
Yeah, Warsop School, Warsop College School. It was about late May 1972 that my family moved from the volatile West Kingston area of Trenchtown as part of a massive migration from the area due to a riot that had started in the area, and we came by truck to Warsop, where I was enrolled into the all-age school by my parents. When we just got there, we lived in a house over in Lodge, and it was barefooted trekking from Lodge to school every day. Those days, coconut oil on your legs and your hands, and your half of exercise book or your piece of slate and slate pencil. These youngsters now, they don't know about slate and slate pencil. Yeah, so I got my piece of slate. Maybe it started with an entire slate, which even when it got broken, it took a piece of it big enough to write on, and a piece of slate pencil. We walked barefoot to school, short khaki pants, starched, khaki shirt starched and tucked into your khaki pants, and you walk the journey. I think lunch money back then was 10 cents. Yeah. Parents would give us 10 cents, and we know that we're straight for the day, because the 10 cents could buy piece of Miss Nerissa white and red. That wasn't drops, that was greater cake. Yeah, Miss Nerissa. Or couple of Miss Edna fried dumpling. Yeah. Or a bag juice, you know, the shave ice in the plastic bag with a straw, and they pump some syrup down into that and it turn red or green. So when it come lunchtime, we had that variety to choose from. Fried dumpling or flitters, Miss Nerissa pretty drops, pretty greater cake, or the other persons who sold coconut drops at the gate. Right? Now, the days when we didn't get money to buy a big lunch at school, no 10 cents available, we know that we had to make the journey home. Whether it was Lodge, where we lived first, or down at 1 mile, or Greentown, or wherever, because my family moved around a bit. We would make our way home for usually that nice plate of hot white rice and some kind of protein with it, you know, which we would take care of very quickly, drink down whatever flavorful drink was provided with it, and after washing out our mouths, we would say a quick "me gone mama" or "me gone Bershil," as I normally call my father, if he was at home at the time. And then we would normally grab our little wheel. For people who come from back in those times, they know you'd normally have a wheel, whether it's small or big. And you'd have what we call the scolter, which would either be a clothes hanger that we open out and then bent it, shaped it in a particular way so that it could guide the wheel as the wheel run, to keep it running. And that is what helped us to cover the distance back from, say, 1 mile or Lodge or wherever we went for lunch in a very quick time, as we made our way back to school for the afternoon session. Yeah? If it was a group of us traveling, then we would take turns running the wheel and running behind the wheel, and everybody else in the group would run along. We made it over those hills, Top Shop Hill and any other hill, get back to school on time. Because of course we didn't want to run into Teacher Pate out at the gate with that leather belt. Alright, so we run back up to school, where we would get involved in the afternoon session, sometimes doing a little agriculture while the girls did needlework inside with their teachers. You know, in grade 1, I had Miss Anna Robinson and Miss Boswell as my teachers. Miss Anna Robinson stood out as a very professional lady in every aspect of her life and left a lasting impression on me. I can remember her Volkswagen car that never seemed to have a scratch, and I can't ever remember that car breaking down on the road. So the car was stush, and Miss Aina was just on point. Miss Boswell, she didn't stay at the school for long, but I remember her for her bangles and her jewelry. Yeah, and you know, her discipline in grade 1. They didn't allow me to go to grade 2. So I spent 1 month in infant school, did grade 1. They moved me past grade 2 into grade 3. Where people like Paul White, that Stingle brother, and his friends, they roughed me up as the junior who came to join the class, you know. But that only lasted for a week, and we settled down into the school year, towards the end of which I got into an accident at home and dislocated my left elbow, which put me out of school for that last month or so of grade 3. I don't remember who my grade 3 teacher was, but when I came back to school in grade 4, Miss Philpott was the teacher. Fine lady, I think they said she was from St. Elizabeth. She taught us well. I did well in her class. And I have to put this part in. In grade 4, I got into a little scuffle with one of my classmates named Clive Simpson from New Roads. And that caused us to end up being draped up by teacher Pate, one in the left and one in the right hand, because we were small boys. And he whistled as he swung us by his side over to grade 5, where he borrowed Miss Satchwell's belt and pelted our backsides while we made noises and cried because all the students were seeing us being beaten, and sent us back to our class. Yeah, things like those. School days. Grade 5, Miss Satchwell, another nice lady. She taught us and taught us well, and prepared us for grade 6, you know, where I ran into Miss Spirit, another professional, you know, extraordinary teacher, you know, faultless, flawless lady. She taught us more than the subjects that she was supposed to be teaching. I remember she had a stack of magazines, a little center in the room where you could go and pull magazines. I remember the Look and Learn magazine, and I used those on many occasions to learn many interesting things, wonderful things about the world. Yeah? And the year went by. I remember that era where Miss Pate's class was right in the vicinity of where the staff room was, or at least the name staff room was there, and an archive was there, all the records. Yes. And then I was gone from that building down to grade 7, where I ended up doing the common entrance exam under the guidance of Miss Thompson, another lovely teacher who had come to live and work in Warsop. For some strange reason, I was in the habit of hiding from extra lessons until a few days before the time for the exam, which we would end up walking down the hill to Troy to sit in the Troy all-age school. Miss Thompson caught me outside the room one evening and told me my corner would be dark concerning the exam if I kept this up. So of course I showed up promptly and was placed at the board, and embarrassed a bit when I was unable to keep up with the rest of the students who were revising by that time. But by the grace of God, I went to the common entrance exam and was successful along with the others who went, those who passed, right? That took me out of Warsop to William Nip. Before I go out there, while I was at Warsop, I had been crowned the spelling bee champion in that same grade 7 class. And well, I didn't get to go to the spelling bee championships in Falmouth because things unfolded in a particular way. But so I passed the common entrance and went off to William Nib. Did first form at William Nib, transferred to Homewood Technical, where I did 4 years, majoring in construction technology. And then after that, I spent some time at home there in Warsop before getting into Micro Teachers College, thanks to Tommins. It's Mr. Ainsworth Thompson from Spring Garden, who took me by surprise on the Eveready bus step one afternoon and told me to just go to Micro. Tell them I want to enroll in the Industrial Arts program, and the rest is history. I did my 3-year diploma program there. Graduated, entered the classroom and started teaching in 1992. While teaching, I completed a Bachelor of Education at UWI, and then I left Jamaica in 2006 to sojourn to the Bahamas, where I am now, still in the classroom, having, since arriving here, completed a Master of Science degree in Educational Leadership at Walden University. Mind you, I have not been presented with the opportunity to serve as a school leader as yet, but I am holding my position in the classroom. And I say to God be the glory, great things He has done. I hail Warsop. I love Warsop. I consider Warsop my home. And I look forward to a time when I'll be able to visit there and hang around, not just pass through like I have done on some occasions, but hang around and link up with some old friends like Ray and the people at the school at present and so on. So this is Emmanuel Shield, and that was a little flashback with focus on the Warsop All-Age School. Love you guys.
I would encourage the people who have left and who gained prominence now in the world. Your beginning started right there. You began right there. You are now Dr. So-and-so and lawyer this and that. And now, nurse so-and-so and whatever. Please, I'm asking you, come back, visit, support causes. Because there are brilliant children now here and the parents are not able to send them off to school. Your support will be good. If you don't want to give it to them, donate to the school, computers or whatever materials you can. Come in, pop in. Sometimes they have Read Across Jamaica. Go in and read. I have done that.
We do not ask for a lot. We ask for what you can afford. Because as you know, our parents are predominantly farmers, and it is not, they do not always have it, but these are parents who believe in education, and so any help that they get would really be appreciated. And so for even if it is a $5,000, and I'm talking Jamaican now, or $10,000, what we receive is how we market it that will make a difference. So the person who contributes $50,000 is the same fervency we receive the 5,000 with, and we really heap praises on that whatever we receive, and so there are always needs that the students will have. Books, uniforms, school shoes, pencils, crayons, Play-Doh, stuffed toys, all of these things, tablets, now that we are on the technology highway. So anything at all that can help to make the students feel more comfortable and achieve more in their primary school education would be greatly appreciated. A person coming from overseas, and even if it is a pack of pencil, if it is a pack of crayons, these are greatly appreciated. Because if a child cannot read, we do not plan to leave the child behind. Maybe the child will be able to express him or herself through art. And so we try to develop a child holistically, musical instrument, whatever it is that you can donate would be greatly appreciated. Yeah.
So join us next time when the bell rings again.